Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes continue to make noise, this time not in the transfer portal. They go to the 2024 class and land one of the best high schoolers in the class, Aaron Butler from the state of California, a top 100 national recruit, could play wide receiver, probably will play cornerback if I had to guess. And Dill, this is kind of what we talked about. The next step for Coach Prime, why did they bring Coach Prime into Colorado, is to get the talent to come to Boulder. And he had to go to the transfer portal to just get talent immediately so they can start winning some games in 2023. But if you want long-term success at Colorado, you got to be able to recruit from the high school level, develop those guys. There's a reason you don't see Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan going out and getting 40, 50 plus commits in the transfer portal because they do a good job getting their high schoolers and developing them. Coach Prime was in a tough situation where he needed to go to the portal. But if you start seeing him get some success on the high school trail, that's when things are really going to be taking off in Colorado. And again, you look at the teams he beat out to get Aaron Butler's commitment: USC, Alabama, Georgia, a massive win for Coach Prime. Now, before we get into it again, just always want to say thank you to you guys. The support you guys have shown, especially talking Colorado football, which my brother and I absolutely love. It's one of the most intriguing stories in college football that we've seen in the last decade. So again, appreciate all the support. If you do enjoy the content, you like the updates, consider subscribing to the channel because you know Deion Sanders ain't done. There's going to be a lot more news to talk about. So lock it in if you do enjoy it. We really do appreciate all the support you guys have shown. Dill, I'm going to kick it off to you, Coach Prime, leaving the transfer portal a little bit and getting it done on the high school recruiting trail here.
And that's what we've talked about. These teams that are trying to turn around really quickly, it starts in the portal at the end of the day. When you go 1-11 the year before, it's very evident that you can't turn that, like your 2023 class of freshmen, into a team that's going to be more capable of winning some games. So, of course, he had to hit that portal, and he did hit it, obviously, very hard. And you're right. Now it's time to start pulling out those big high school recruiting win battles against teams like Oregon, USC, and especially if they can start hitting that Southern California area like they did under Bill McCartney.
Yes.
And if you watch that 30 for 30 on Colorado, you saw how that's where it started. They went into that city. They started crushing it there, grabbing guys like Eric Bieniemy, who then became the face of that program. They're not that far away. They can go get those guys. They now have a coach who has the firepower, I believe, to go win those battles, and you're seeing them start to do it now.
And that's what it's about. Like the ability for Deion Sanders to land commitments from a guy like Hermione McLean, for a guy like Aaron Butler, without even playing a college football game at Colorado, without even coaching a Colorado football game yet. That just speaks to the charisma of Coach Prime. And you talk about, what if they go out and win 6-7 games in 2023 and some of these blue chipper recruits start seeing they can go win. They can win a national championship at Colorado. They're already turning it around year one. That's when you're really going to see, I think, the floodgates open up in terms of the high school recruiting class. But you talk about going into the state of California. That's something that's crucial for Colorado. Coach Prime's going to recruit the hell out of Florida. Like he's got his roots there. He's got a lot of good relationships, even in that SEC area. You already see some of those guys in the 2024 class from Georgia, from Florida. But going out and beating USC, beating Oregon for some of those top kids in California with all the talent that is in that state, that really does seem like it's the next step for Colorado. And I'm really interested to see how Colorado can close out this 2024 class because, again, that's where the future of this program is. It is recruiting the high school level and developing those guys.
And just on the recruiting front, you do wonder if, he had to spend so much time hitting the portal and essentially getting a whole, what do you have to get, 60 new players in the building? And again, I'm not saying he shouldn't have done that. Of course, they needed to. You can't go 1-11 and then think you're going to go recruit a guy like Aaron Butler. He's too good of a player. He wants to win. And when you got USC, UCLA, Oregon right up and down that coast, it's you can't be where Colorado was, that he wouldn't have given them a look before Coach Prime. So he had to hit that portal hard. But you do wonder if that, there's only 24 hours in a day. I wonder if now that the portal's wrapping up, are you going to see him start just kind of building out that 2024 class? Because again, it is off to a slow start in a sense, not in for history of Colorado.
Yeah, I was going to say for Colorado standards, it's off to a phenomenal start.
I don't know, because Coach Prime, he already has you almost have like, oh, you think he's going to do top 20, top 10 type classes. Like as it sits, it's down there in the 40s right now. But again, he did have to spend a lot of time in the portal. Like,
Yeah,
do you
that's
think he can
such a phenomenal
open up?
point, and I don't think enough people talk about it. You take a look at his first couple months at Colorado. I don't think he's been talking to a lot of high school kids. He obviously has been, but I think a lot more of the emphasis has been getting some of these guys in the transfer portal on campus, trying to kind of you can't recruit every single player in the country, and so a lot of emphasis probably getting on those, getting some of those guys in the transfer portal, maybe a little less in the high school class, and as you said, once this transfer portal kind of wraps up, Coach Prime now faces that 2024 class and starts getting after it. You might start seeing some more guys come on board. I do think that this first year is going to be massive for him, though. Like, in order for win football games, show these kids in the 2024 and 2025 class that you come to Colorado. This is going to be a competitive team. This is a different Colorado than the Colorado teams you're used to seeing in years past. That's when I really do think it opens up. But again, that's a phenomenal point in the sense that, like, he probably hasn't been hammering the high school recruiting trail that hard because the emphasis has been on the transfer portal for the last couple months.
Yeah, and now that's done. Once the summer hits, it's high school time now, and I do wonder again. It's like I suspect he's going to do a phenomenal job recruiting high school football. It's just like the fact that he could convince guys like Travis Hunter and some of the other guys he got to go to
Hermione
Jackson
McLean
State.
goes late in the process, steals him from Miami and Florida and Alabama. It's incredible.
Because these are like risk. I don't want to say risk, but like Jackson Hunter, it's bucking a trend for sure. It's like he's a guy who goes to Georgia, Florida State type programs, and that's just what everybody of his ilk does.
And you're bucking the trend here with Aaron Butler. Like, you're going and beating out USC and Oregon and Bama and Georgia for him. Like, that's – and again, we say it, he hasn't even coached a game at Colorado yet. Dill, I'm really interested to see the official visits, and we'll keep you guys updated in terms of the official visits, the players that he can get on campus this summer for the officials, because I think he's going to get some big names. And we talk about Coach Prime has a pretty good hit rate once he gets those guys to Boulder. They see the mountains. They are around Coach Prime and the energy around this program.
That's the other thing. It's not a dead program like it was. It's like
no,
they're rallying the whole city. They're rallying Coach Prime's got his own giant fan base just in the world because of what he's done in coaching and in his pro football career and college football career, all of it. So he's got his. There's just like the buzz that. You think about what Georgia is and how in South Carolina, big time premier programs and how engaged those fans are and how exciting it is to be around those type of programs. He's got Colorado kind of going back there. So I don't think they're at like this competitive disadvantage aside from the possibility of being a bit of an unknown at this point. But you got the feeling of a big time program now, the energy, the
game days are going to be electric there. And yeah, it's like one of the biggest things you can sell a kid is that you want to go play for just an absolute electric stadium. You saw the spring game. They had one of the best spring game attendances across the country at Colorado. They used to not even sell 10,000 tickets. I think they had 60,000 tickets sold for that game. Truly incredible. Like, this program, this is what we really wanted to see from Colorado. Like, you knew he was going to get some action in the transfer portal. If he can get this high school recruiting off the ground and start getting some young talent into this program, get them developed, that's when I think it becomes special for Colorado.
And it kind of only does take one. Once once you kind of get your alpha dogs in there, and Aaron Butler at his level, he's one of those headliners.
And it kind of happened at Jackson State too. He lands a couple of those top guys, and then it's like all of a sudden you start seeing Jackson State in the top 5 and the top 3 for like 4 and 5 star guys. You never saw that. You're seeing the same thing with Colorado. You take Ellis Robinson, the top cornerback in this class. He threw Colorado in his top 5, and I don't even know if that recruitment's done. He took an official to Miami, or is going to take an official to Miami. Like, guys are taking a look at Colorado, and when you have a player like Aaron Butler commit to Colorado, Kermani McLean commit to Colorado, that's really going to open some eyes for some of these other top guys to maybe follow suit and join what something special that's brewing in Boulder, Colorado. Going to wrap it up there, but again, appreciate the support you guys have shown. If you do enjoy the Colorado updates, again, one of the coolest stories in college football. Lock in, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate all the support you guys have shown, and we'll talk to y'all later. Peace.